Sheilas and fellas, today we are pulling up to the Microcenter just outside of the nation's capital in Rockville, Maryland, and are taking the escalator straight up to heaven because the deal that we are picking up is out of this world. As we walk inside, I am proud to say that we are getting the best price to performance RTX 5090 gaming PC I have ever seen. Not this one, mate. I ain't paying 5,500 United States sausages for this Alienware monstrosity. No, we are picking up the best value open box RTX 5090 gaming PC that has ever been in existence, and stick around to the end, mate, because this deal was so good that we are going to rip it apart piece by piece, put it into the best looking case possible, and try and flip it for a fat profit in a time where PC sales are literally the slowest I have ever seen. Now, as I walk to the counter to pick this thing up, I was a bit befuddled and feel like we were misled because it wasn't an open box PC, mate. As we teleport down to my car, you can see that it literally had no box whatsoever. Look at this thing. And let me tell you, this baby was dusty, mate. I feel like it had been sitting in a warehouse for months. Now, to top things off, it also came with this filthy keyboard, mouse, power cable, and Wi-Fi antenna duct taped together. What an absolute mess. Now, yes, it does look disgusting, and yes, Frank and I have likely contracted some type of venereal disease after just touching this thing, but once we get this bad boy home to Hank, tear it down to the core components and reveal the price, your head is going to explode at the value. Let's get it back to the best PC building dog of all time. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the studio with the PC, but unfortunately, there is no fat glizzy in sight, so I guess we're just going to have to start without him. Oh, never mind, there he is. How you doing, mate?
I hate it here.
Yeah, so do I, to be honest, but you know what will cheer us both up? Turning on this monolithic structure. Give me 2 firm handshakes and we can fire her up. And there she is in all of her glory, and thanks to the 7 fans, 2 sticks of RAM, and the AAO shooting rainbow ARGB puke directly into my eyes, my risk of Alzheimer's has increased by 1,000,000%, so great stuff, Dale. I mean Hank, my god, it's already setting in. So this case is very interesting. I've wanted to check it out for a while. On their website, they say it's their proprietary take on the Fantex Evolve X2S mid tower. It has 3 reverse blade fans embedded down the bottom inside this silver shroud that brings air into the case, and then you have 3 fans on top also embedded in a silver shroud connected to the radiator that exhausts hot air out. Now, as we investigate the case further, even the back panel is made out of glass, which I am not a huge fan of because 1, there is more chance of everything just shattering to pieces, and 2, who actually cares what the back panel looks like? It also has some ARGB accents on the side, so yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the case if I'm going to be honest, but let me know what you think down below. Do you like this thing? The one thing I will say is that it is doing a fantastic job at supporting the GPU, as it comes with a tiny sag bracket that you can barely see, so good stuff on that, Cyberpower. The cable management is also very good, and then my final note is that this is my first time also seeing this type of AIO from Cyberpower. It is a mirrored Infinity-like design. Usually they use the Cooler Master Elite 360 AIO on their builds, but honestly, I think this one looks 1,000,000 times better. I don't know, Hank, the more I look at it, the more it's starting to grow on me. Do you like it, buddy? Thanks for the input, mate. Honestly, who cares? I didn't buy it for the case. I bought it for the juicy components that lay barren inside of it. Once we rip out the 600-watt cable and unscrew it from the side, behold the big chungus, the 3-slot Gigabyte RTX 5090. Now, this card won't win any beauty pageants. It has a simple black design with no ARGB, but it is an absolute workhorse. Its chonky heatsink paired with 3 huge fans keep the temperatures well under 70 degrees when we run it under 100% load in Furmark, and if we look online, the cheapest I could find this thing online is actually the ARGB version. For some reason, the non-ARGB version has disappeared from existence, but overall, it costs 3,699 United States beanie babies, so you'll see that we got it for quite the steal when I reveal the price of the entire PC later. Next up, we remove the RAM to reveal 2 sticks of 32GB T-Force Delta DDR5 ARGB for a total of 64 gigabytes. Now the timings are pretty average at a CL of 40, but these babies are rocking 6,400 mega transfers per second, so we will definitely take that, mate. Plus the rainbow ARGB that is being blasted out of them will easily add 6 to 7 FPS in all games. Looking online, these sticks currently cost 939 United States dollars and 99 American cents, and this is only for the 6,000 mega transfers per second stick, so we struck gold with this. Moving even further down to the M.2, and we are once again met with the good old reliable Kingston NV3 NVMe. We had this baby featured in our iBuyPower PC last week, but that pathetic rig only had 2 terabytes. This baby is rockin' 4. Now it is only a Gen 4 drive, but take a look at this madness. We used to buy this drive all the time last year when we were flipping PCs, and on June the 9th, 2025, it was $58 for a 1 terabyte NVMe from them and $240 for 4 terabytes. Fast forward to not even a year later, on the 4th of April 2026, prices are up 200% on the 1 terabyte stick, and 4 terabytes now cost 588 American rock flag and eagle dollars. What an absolute mess. I hate you, Sam Altman and AI. Now we move back on up to my fingerprint-laced Cyberpower Infinity AAO, and we remove the 4 screws holding it down to reveal the powerhouse of the cell. And no, I'm not talking about the mitochondria, mate. I am talking about the Ryzen 9 9950X3D. Once we clean this young lady off, we can glaze the heck out of it. 16 cores, 32 threads. It used to be the best productivity and gaming CPU on the market until AMD decided to create the 9950X3D2. What? I have no idea why they created this. They must have been smoking some wacky tobacco, because ain't nobody was asking for that nonsense, and it now costs $900, so they can shove it where the sun don't shine. However, you know Hank and I are the stupidest people on YouTube, so if you want to see us review it, let me know down in the comments. Now online, the regular 9950X3D is also stupid expensive at 574 United States clamshells, but what's even more crazy is right now, if we just add the price of the CPU, RAM, M.2 and GPU as brand new parts, we are already sitting at 5,799 buccarinos, and that doesn't include the case, motherboard, power supply, AIO or fans, mate. And let me tell ya, we picked this bad boy up for a lot cheaper than that. In total, this PC cost us $4,164.96 US cents, mate. So now you can see why I spent Hank's child's entire college fund on this. The value was just too great to pass up. Now finishing off with the PC, and I was a bit disappointed with the motherboard if I'm gonna be honest. It was an Asus Prime B850 Plus Wi-Fi, which, don't get me wrong, it's not awful at all, particularly compared to that terrible micro ATX B650 ASRock board we had last week powering our 9800 X3D. Thanks, iBuy scammers. Sorry, I mean iBuyPower. I still can't get that name right for some reason. But this Asus Prime B850 Plus Wi-Fi is at least a full ATX board. It does have 3 M.2s, but the VRMs are pretty lackluster considering it has a 16-core 32-thread CPU in it. Plus, when we look at the rear I.O., it is also very average considering that this PC brand new usually costs over $5,000. I mean, heck, a few months ago, we got this RTX 5090 PC from Microcenter. It was the power spec brand, and it came with an X870E motherboard and a Gen 5 M.2, but it is what it is, mate. Nothing can compete with the value that is power spec. So with the internal components all inspected, it's time to unscrew the motherboard and disconnect all the cables so we could rip this baby out and get it ready for a case swap. But before we do, we have to go through the back door and unveil the PSU. So when we open it up from behind, we are once again met with the cable management from the heavens. It is a masterpiece. Cyberpower always manages the heck out of these cables. But as we finally make our way down to the right-hand corner, we can see the power supply, and without seeing any writing on it, I already 100% know what it is because I can spot those braided non-modular cables from anywhere. We pull it out to once again reveal the old reliable Apevia Prestige 1000 watt 80 plus gold tier C on the PSU tiers list. Now I know many of you are currently throwing up in your mouths because you hate Apevia, but believe it or not, this PSU is literally powering my personal 5090-9950 X3D rig that we built last year. And newsflash for all you haters out there, we have had zero problems, so if you're looking to throw hands, badmouth the Apevia Prestige in the comments and we can have a fist fight. So here are all the final components of the PC. If you're wondering what I do with the PC case and AAO. I actually sell them to a young PC flipper in my area. I don't think he has any idea that I am the weenie man, and he got this bad boy off me for 60 bucks. So let me know if that is a fair price or if I'm ripping him off. To be fair, the Fantex Evolve 2 by itself costs 130 bucks on Microcenter, and he is getting a 360mm AAO radiator as well, so have fun with it, mate. So now is the time you've all been waiting for. It's time to case swap this bad boy and flip it. So out with the old, a quick fade to black, and in with the new. And as you can see, I have actually swapped out a few components, so let me explain. Starting with the motherboard, we had this B850 Asus Prime, but I don't really feel comfortable selling an RTX 5090 with a Ryzen 9 9950 X3D in this thing, so a quick wave of the hand and wha-bam! We have now thrown it into an X870P Wi-Fi board from Asus, so a nice little upgrade for whoever buys this thing, and best of all, it only cost me 118 bucks open box on Microcenter, and it literally looked brand new. It still had the stickers on it and everything, and right now, the cheapest used B850 plus Wi-Fi motherboard that we subbed out costs 119 bucks on Amazon, so technically, we saved $1, right? What? I don't know, mate. We are just gonna add this motherboard to our inventory and use it for a later build, and we can add 40 bucks to the end price of our PC flip for including this new one. Next up, the power supply. Again, I love the Apevia Prestige 1000 watt 80 plus gold tier C on the PSU tiers list, but unfortunately, no one else does, and usually people want to see at least 1200 watts in an RTX 5090, even though 1000 is fine, so we subbed in this Rosewell CMG 1200 G5. A fully modular tier B power supply that on Amazon is going for a pretty incredible 119 United States bucks. Now, the Apevia Prestige 1000 watt 80 plus gold tier C on the PSU tiers list that we ripped out of this thing will go into our inventory, and that thing is 80 bucks brand new on Amazon. So overall, adding this new 1200 watt power supply cost us an extra $40, but it's likely going to help us sell the PC faster, so it's going to be worth it. Then we have to introduce this Tropheo Vision 360 ARGB Black Edition from Thermalright. It has this humongous magnetic screen on it, and as I always say, large LED AAO sell, mate. This thing was too good to pass up. 118 United States beef briskets and 32 potato salad cents for that much screen real estate? Get in my PC, mate. The only issue is we have to add infinity fans to it because right now the fans are pretty plain, but fear not, ladies and gentlemen. Jungle Leopard sells a 3-pack of infinity fans that fully connect to each other, so you only need one wire, and it's 16 bucks, mate. Literally unbelievable for the price, and they look amazing as well. Last but not least, we have the PC case, and mate, if you're a regular viewer of my PC flips, you are probably looking at this thing going, not the DIY PC ARGB N3 case that he always uses again. But if you look closely, it's not actually that case, so you can shut up, mate. Behold the brand new DIY PC ARGB N3 Pro case. Very different indeed. Now, just like the old case, it has 4 infinity fans, 3 reverse blade to bring air in, and 1 exhaust at the back. It also has a ton of room at the back of the case, and it has its own ARGB fan hub as well. Taking a step back, it is this beautiful fish tank panoramic design with this 45-degree angle glass piece. So I can hear you sitting there right now screaming, what's the difference, mate? Well, it has this tiny ARGB strip down the bottom where the old one doesn't, and you know what I say, mate, ARGB sells. What an absolutely massive upgrade by DIY PC, and it can be all yours for the low price of 81 United States hamburgers on Newegg after you use this 10% off coupon code. Now, we do have an affiliate link in the video. If you purchase it through that, Hank gets 3 pieces of chicken, so help the poor bugger out. He's starting to look thin. So finally, if we go back in time and look at the old PC, don't get me wrong, it's definitely not bad looking at all, but after a quick drum roll, we reveal our brand new masterpiece. Look at it, mate. I am in love. Now, the Thermalright screen is currently upside down and trying to load, but don't worry, mate, we will fix it. Also, I left my personal M.2 dangling down the bottom there that has all my games on it, so just ignore that as well. My God, we are the worst YouTuber in existence. But overall, if we ignore those massive oversights, she's looking pretty snazzy, mate. Hank, give me another 2 firm handshakes and we can light this thing up like the 4th of July. Sweet merciful Zeus, look at the ARGB strip down the bottom, it's magnificent. Between that, the 9 ARGB Infinity fans and the upside down Thermalright AAO, this has to be the best PC we've ever built. But hold your horses, Sheilas and fellas, because it gets even better in 3, 2, 1. And behold, the world's most handsome PC building dog's mug is on the screen, staring into your soul while the CPU and GPU temperatures are right underneath. Now let me know down below, did we cook on this build or are we cooked, mate? To be honest, I think it looks absolutely phenomenal, and heck, we even included this tiny sag bracket down the back here, and she is keeping the GPU as straight as a ruler. Now the only thing left to do is to switch out the 24-pin cables with some cable extensions back here to finish off the overall aesthetic, but I think she is looking beautiful even without it. So now that we have finished our version of the Statue of David, we can now price out the PC. Overall, it cost us $4,162 to buy the original thing. Then we can add the extra $40 each for the upgraded motherboard and PSU, $32 for the 6 Infinity fans, $8 for the sag bracket, 81 spankers for the case, and $119 for the AAO. And in total, this new beast now costs us $4,484.28 to build, so not bad at all considering this is an RTX 5090 with 4 terabytes of storage, 1200 watts of pure power, and 64 gigabytes of RAM with a 9950 X3D in 2026. Heck, if we try and find something with similar specs, the closest thing we can find is actually at Microcenter. It is that Dell Alienware that I showed in the beginning, and it costs $6,500. If we look at other pre-built companies, Corsair, for example, is selling this baby that has 2 terabytes of extra storage, but otherwise the exact same specs for $6,899. And to be honest, the aesthetics on our PC are pooping all over this thing. So now that we've built this baby, you know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to flip this monstrosity. Let's get to it. Alright, Sheilas and fellas, PC sales are the slowest they've ever been for me. Heck, even bigger YouTubers like the Toasty Bros are saying sales are terrible right now, but guess what? Hank doesn't give a crap, mate. He is setting himself another challenge and only giving himself 2 weeks to sell this monstrosity. Now, he basically has no momentum whatsoever at the moment. A few videos ago, he featured this RTX 5070 Ti Ryzen 7 9850 X3D gaming PC. He attempted to flip this bad boy on Facebook Marketplace in under 1 week and had it up for sale for $2,299, which I think is pretty great value. I mean, for God's sakes, this thing had a 1000 watt power supply, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and 2 terabytes of storage, and even this gaming PC took about 3 weeks to sell. So we might honestly be cooked right now trying to sell an RTX 5090 gaming PC for more than double the price. Now, ideally, given that I've taken a big $4,484 risk on acquiring and building this monolithic structure, I'd like to maybe aim for a channel record of $500 in profit, so we are going to list this baby on Facebook Marketplace to start for $4,999. Drive away, no more to pay. Now, yes, I know this sounds like a very large sum of money, but I can 99% guarantee you are not finding these specs on Marketplace or in any pre-built for $5,000, so get off Hank's back, mate. The other place we are going to try to sell this baby is on Jawa GG. Now, it's a different story over there. Unfortunately, with websites like this and eBay, there is going to be a huge 10% fee. Now, when all is said and done, given that this thing is going to sell for over $5,000, there is going to be about $500 in fees when it's all said and done. Now, you're probably sitting there screaming, mate, why are you selling on these websites if they drill you in the butt with massive fees? Well, for very expensive gaming PCs, it's so much harder to move them on Facebook Marketplace. Most people on there are looking for budget builds, whereas websites like Jawa have a much wider audience that is specifically looking for high-end hardware, so it's worth it, mate. Now, to start off, we are going to list this thing at 5,599 United States bazookas, which after fees will net us $4,969.11 spankers. So before we put it up, let's see how this compares to other people selling RTX 5090 gaming PCs on Jawa.gg. Starting off, we have this one from Andromeda PCs, which is $5,300 $2,399, but it only has a 9800X3D, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and 2 terabytes of storage, so ours is 1 million times better for only $200 more. Next up, we have this other fella with a 9850X3D, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and 2 terabytes of storage for $5,499. So again, worse specs and only $100 off, and plus I think our PC looks a million times better. Now surprisingly, the only PC I found on Jawa with our specs was this Mad Lad right here. Everything the same except 96 gigabytes of RAM for a pretty massive 6,249 United States cheesecakes. So all in all, I think we are pretty fairly priced on Jawa relative to everyone else trying to sell RTX 5090 gaming PCs. All that's left is to fast forward ahead 2 weeks later and see where we are at.
2,000 years later.
Alright mate, it's been about 2 weeks, it's Thursday night, and we have not sold the PC yet, and we want to post this video Friday, so we are screwed right now, but boy do we have some wild messages from Facebook Marketplace. First of all, we've got fellas offering me straight cash for the GPU only, $3,100. Honestly, that's actually not bad given we paid $4,200 total for the PC, but you can shove it up your booty mate. Buy the entire PC or get out of here. Next up, someone is offering me a trade for a 1996 Jaguar XJ Van Dan Pals.
What?
Like, WTF is that, mate? Why would I want a 30-year-old car for my PC? In fact, you know what? I'll take it just so I could drive it straight off a cliff so I don't ever have to think about this awful offer again. Get out of here, you bozo. Now, you can hear I'm pretty angry at some of these offers, but just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, this fella messages me saying, "Is it still available?" I reply with no, and then he says, "I'm not surprised. No one is going to buy a PC for $5,000. I pray no one gets scammed by buying this junk." Gee, thanks a lot, mate. Now Hank is crying. Good job. Surprisingly, that wasn't the most insulting message on Facebook Marketplace, though. Someone flat out offered me $2,400, followed by a very generous $2,700 in cash, and they can pick it up today. Mate, someone is going to have to pick you up in a body bag if you come here with $2,700. You can't even get an RTX 5090 by itself for anywhere close to that. God, I hate Facebook Marketplace. So our last hope is Jawa.gg. Have we had any luck on the website? Well, kinda. We haven't sold it, but we currently have 477 views and 12 saves on this PC with 1 day left in this challenge. Now, to be honest, that is pretty great stats for 2 weeks, and if I waited, I guarantee I'd eventually get the $5,599 asking price from a Jawa buyer based on those stats, but YOLO, mate. We have to get this PC sold for the video or we have once again failed a challenge, so we are going for a Hail Mary. A $280 one-day discount offered to everyone watching this listing on Jawa, which will bring our profit down to around $300. Now, yes, that isn't ideal given that I put over $4,400 into this PC, but if my mum had balls, she'd be my dad. What am I gonna do about it, mate? We are getting desperate. The final question is, with this massive discount, can we flip this thing overnight? Well, unlike Bob the Builder, no we can't, mate. It didn't sell. Ain't nobody wanna buy this piece of crap off us, and we have now failed 2 flipping challenge videos in a row. We suck, mate. Hank is the worst PC flipper of all time, but me and the Glizzy still love ya. Goodbye.